The easy life. When I was young, I thought life was simple. My father had money, so I did not worry. I did not study much. I did no work. I had everything I wanted. If I saw something nice, I asked my father, and he bought it for me. My friend told me to plan for the future, but I laughed. Why should I work? Why should I worry? My father had money, and that was enough. Every morning I woke up late. I had breakfast in bed, fluffy pancakes dripping with syrup or a plate of fresh fruit delivered on a silver tray. I watched TV for hours. Sitcoms, music videos, luxury travel shows. Sometimes I went out with friends. We ate at the best restaurants, wore expensive clothes, and drove fast cars that purred under our feet. Life was easy and fun. I thought it would always be like this. I never thought about money. I never thought about work. When I wanted to travel, I traveled. When I wanted new shoes, I bought them. Everything came at the click of a button or a whispered word. My father's world was a golden bubble in which I floated, untouched by worry, responsibility, or discipline. But life, as it does, shifted. It began with a phone call. "Your father has taken ill," my uncle said, his voice crackling with concern. Suddenly, the golden bubble cracked. Hospitals, doctors, red bills, it all came rushing in. My father could still pay, but he was gone. And with him, the invisible safety net disappeared too. The house was the first place I felt the change. Cleaning staff no longer arrived. The polish on the floors dulled. My clothes piled up. I discovered stains on the sheets I had once ignored. I managed laundry on my own for the first time and was stunned by how little I had bothered to know. I didn't even know how much detergent to use. Then came the bills. Electricity, internet, phone, insurance, taxes. All that money that I'd assumed would never run out began slipping away. One evening, I stared at the credit card statement. Numbers in red. I swallowed hard. Panic rose in my chest. I called my friend, the one who had once warned me to plan for the future, and apologized. She asked, gently, "Do you want help?" I didn't. I needed help. That week, I took the bus and waited in line at a cafe for a barista job. I had never worked for a living before. I wore a borrowed uniform, learned to steam milk, memorize orders, smile politely even when tired. My fingers fumbled with the cash register. The manager's patience ran thin. I cried in the supply closet, but I kept going. Outside work, school began too. I enrolled in evening classes, accounting, business ethics, personal finance. At first, the textbooks felt foreign, the language of budgets, savings, investments. But as I studied, charts and numbers began to tell stories. I learned how money could grow when managed well, how debt crushed dreams when ignored. I learned that real freedom comes from choice, and choice needs preparation. Friends fell away. The ones who once lunched on caviar and smoked cigars saw me in thrifted blazers and walked past. But a few stayed. The ones who drank black coffee with me, who listened without judgment when I said, "I'm scared I'll fail." They became my confidants and encouraged me when I fainted at the sight of a 9 a.m. finance lecture. Months passed. I got better at bartending, at accounting homework, at balancing my own checkbook. I learned to cook simple meals, lentil soup, spaghetti with garlic and olive oil, rice with vegetables. They were humble but delicious. I discovered joy in creating something with my own hands, rather than ordering it on a whim. One evening, while counting tips, I realized I was saving money. Money for the first time. A small, steady amount deposited every week. It glowed on my screen like a promise. I smiled. A year after my father's passing, I walked into his empty study. The big mahogany desk he once sat at was silent. On its blotter lay a leather-bound notebook, the only tangible trace of his hidden wisdom. In neat handwriting, he jotted life lessons. Diversify your interests. Value integrity over impressing others. Plan for the rainy day. I closed the notebook with a gentle reverence, touched by how he had tried to teach me even from beyond. The easy life had transformed. It was no longer about having everything at once. It was about understanding the weight of a dollar earned, the pride in work well done, the connections formed by shared effort. I learned that privilege without purpose can turn into a gilded cage, and that freedom truly blooms when nurtured through responsibility. Now, when I wake up, I rise early. I prepare a strong espresso, no syrup needed. I teach a finance lesson to my classmates before my shift. In the evenings, I write articles about personal growth, weaving my story into advice for others who might be drifting in ease and ignoring the ladder they could climb. Sometimes I miss the old life. The fast cars, the silk clothes, the postcards stamped from exotic islands. But I've built something more durable now. Something I can carry with me even when the wind changes. The lesson I hold on to most is that an easy life isn't given, it's created. And its truest ease comes not from wealth received, but wisdom gained.